everyone, and welcome to the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. Joining me, Aaron the Voice Nakamura. So what's up, Aaron?
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai the Legend Fergan off camera. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
So cameras, Kahai's manning the cameras and the stream and stuff. Aaron's over here next to me. He's got a computer in front of him. So if he has chats, you're either like interacting with Aaron or with Kahai. But the boys are here. It's time to start the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. And what that means is we're going to be answering any and all of your ukulele related questions. You can ask us non-ukulele related questions, but we want to get to the ukulele related one first because this is an ukulele podcast, Kahai, right? Mm-hmm. But we don't just talk about ukulele, do we? We talk about other stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what the percentage split is of else and ukulele.
Yeah. It's mostly ukulele though, right?
I think if you accumulate a lot of like Pokemon, food, and everything else, it might be pretty close. Might be 50-50.
Yeah. Still looking for a foreign ditto, people, just in case anyone plays, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. Hit me up on Instagram looking for foreign dittos. Just say it. This is, like I said a couple weeks back, this is using my platform
for good.
For good,
For totally non-selfish reasons.
Yes. This is, you know what I mean? I win and everybody wins, right? Because like I've got dittos, and if they're foreign, we can like swap dittos, and we can both do the Masuda method together, and we'll take a race to see who gets a shiny first, right, Kahai?
Yeah.
We're off to a great start. We're already like talking about some good ukulele stuff. Right on. But yes, we are from Ukulele on the Ground, so we will take and answer any and all of your ukulele related questions. So Kahai, let's go. Give me the first question, bud.
Yeah, we got this question earlier in the week from Kevin.
Okay.
And then so Kevin said that he has like a kind of a condition with his hands. I suffer from severe skin reaction to certain metals, including nickel, which is present in most fretwire. I'm not getting any irritation thanks to calluses, but the reaction causes a very strong / bad metallic smell on my hand that gets embedded in the fretboards. This happens even if playing for just a few minutes. The only way I can think to describe it is if you held a handful of old pennies for a long time.
Yeah, that good son in his hand.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of this before? Is it common? I tried to research online and didn't find much at all about it. Is there any remedy or prevention? Is it hurting my fretboards?
I mean, I'm gonna give the professional advice here of like maybe like talk to your doctor like about what you can do, because I'm not a doctor. I'm not gonna like give you some advice and stuff. But what I can say is that it's not common like at all. This is actually the first time I'm hearing of anything like this. But I mean, I would expect that this happens. Like people get reaction to different metals and stuff. Like I know people like who can't wear like regular jewelry or like costume jewelry. It has to be like real gold or real silver or whatever, like that causes reactions for them. So I'm not surprised that, that this happens. But as far as, advice on what to do, I'm not like a medical expert. So that I would say consult your doctor first and see what your options are. The other thing is that we were just talking about this last week or the week before, or last show, I should say, last podcast, that there's like a glove that you can use, right? Like that's that bass glove that they have. There is a bass glove that you can wear, which might make a difference, because if it's just with your left hand, you can wear that glove with your left hand, and you could probably maybe avoid some of the reactions. I don't know if it's porous and it might like cause reactions anyway, but I mean any layer of protection between your fingers and the nickel in the fret wires might make a difference. So I would look into that. They're meant for like bass players, but I would just look into it to see if it would work for ukulele. Do you know what they're called, Kahai?
No, and I kind of I don't know. I think there is like a company that makes it specifically for instruments, but I kind of feel like it's like a felt glove, like the jewelry kind of gloves or whatever that when you're handling something that you don't want to scratch up, right? You put on. So I think if you find those kinds of things, it might work great. But
Yeah, because I'm learning the bass right now, and I've gone to a website called Scott's Bass Lessons, and the guy Scott, the one who teaches the bass lessons, he has like this white glove that he wears for, I think it's for like trying to avoid calluses and things like that, and protect his hand and fingers.
I think he has a medical condition.
Oh yeah, so it might be like this, almost the same thing,
I think it's like a muscular medical condition instead of like a skin reaction. But I think that the glove like helps him too. And if you listen to him, he plays bass like a normal bass player.
He's great. So I would look into it. That would be my only advice, because I don't think I've ever come across anyone like that. So it's not that common. But two things: definitely consult your doctor to see what you can do, if there's anything that that he can give you, or I would trust that better than like trusting a ukulele player on the internet, for some advice. But that would be the best thing for you to do. And then look into that, that fret glove. I don't know what it's called, but look into something like that. Maybe you can wear something on your left hand to protect your fingers from making direct contact with the nickel.
Yeah, I told him like that. Like the same thing. I don't have any reaction to metals, but I've played instruments, or like if you play instruments, sometimes they build up that green corrosion on the fret wire, and that can like rub off on your fingers, and then it can kind of, I think I know that smell he's talking about, that old penny smell, right? Like, because it smells like rust and stuff. But like that's pretty normal if you play uke, and the way to get rid of that, if it's something like that, you just like wipe down the frets a little bit, like before after you play or whatever. Yeah. And it should get rid of like most of it. So if it's something like that, then it's kind of like that. And he asked too if it's like hurting his fretboard or anything. If his is more severe, it might be, but even that, like I think, like to take to the point where you're like corroding down the fret wires itself to the point where it's like, oh, it's really damaging, or I can see it. It's like you probably need to replace your whole fretboard at that point too, right? And you would have like divots in your fretboard itself. So it's like, and you can, right? Like that is an option in the future, but I wouldn't worry about it too much, like about damaging your ukulele or something. It should be fine, like to keep playing. So yeah.
So is it just like that it smells, or is he getting like a bad reaction on his hand as well? It's just the smell, right?
Yeah, he said like his calluses have kind of protected him, I guess. But he said he is more worried about the smell, and he even went on to add that he feels bad like handing people his ukulele because he's worried about like the smell transferring over
to someone else.
Yeah. So
I mean, I would also look into maybe like wiping it down with something, like a fast fret or whatever it may be. I know those kind of protect the fretboard a little bit more, maybe. I don't know. Look into that to see if it works. If it doesn't, then you just have nice feeling frets. Like a fast fret is not a bad thing. Like just if you use it on your fret, it just makes things slippery. It's a little bit, it's kind of like lube for the for your strings and your fretboard, which lets you kind of glide through the fretboard a little bit easier. But that also puts like a nice coat on it as well. Maybe that. Try that.
What was that stick that you had to cleaning your fretboard?
Oh, that's the what is it called? The boogie juice. The boogie juice. I think I have it here still.
Yeah.
My case over here. My case. But that's a cleaner as well. I guess I picked it up. You did that. It ran out. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I think I ran out of the boogie juice.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's
like a fretboard cleaner.
Yeah, fretboard cleaner mainly like for the for like the little places in between where the fret wires are. Like those hard to reach kind of places. It was shaped like a pen, so you just kind of like a Tide pen almost. If you guys have used Tide pens in the past,
does not contain.
Yeah, don't use Tide pen. But it's shaped like a Tide pen, and you just kind of use it and rub it on the thing. The guy said it's like natural products. I remember the NAM interview with the guys from Boogie Juice.
They wouldn't tell us what's in it.
Yeah, it's proprietary blend. I was like, so like what's in it? I want to know like what I'm putting in my ukulele,
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's like natural, like natural ingredients. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I mean, uranium.
Most likely like lemon oil.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to tell us. I was trying to get in there, like, is this approved by the FDA? Like, it was,
It's
they're
approved
from
by the-
Australia, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a US thing.
Yeah.
But then it wouldn't be approved by the FDA because it's not for human consumption.
I guess so. You're not eating the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so try those out. That's honestly the safest advice that I can give. Because I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm a medical doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a doctor. Period. What am I saying?
And then if all else fails, then there are plastic ukuleles.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
the Fluke has a plastic fretboard.
It's a plastic frets.
Plastic frets, plastic fretboard, as long as
Yeah.
you get the one with the plastic fretboard.
Yeah.
And then outdoor ukuleles, Waterman.
plastic as well, yeah.
Is the Waterman? Waterman is plastic.
I think it's all
right?
plastic. Because I mean, if it can go in the water, I would think that the metal would rust.
I
right?
thought that
Yeah.
the Waterman did have tuning pegs that did have like
Oh, yeah?
some metal.
Huh, that would be interesting because it would rust if you
I think
expose
Yeah.
it to water. But I don't
yeah.
know.
I think Kevin said that he already has like some plastic ukes and
Okay.
he does play them, but he said it's like kind of a shame that he doesn't feel like comfortable bringing his like nice ukuleles to jams and stuff, and he
Yeah.
feels bad about like not sharing it with other people.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got but like I think if he wipes it down, before he passes it
Yeah.
on to somebody,
Lemon oil.
yeah, for sure. And I told him like you wipe it down with lemon oil, and should be lemony fresh, right?
Yeah,
like
just-
should smell like lemons.
Yeah, it smells like you just mopped the floor with pine salt.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Okay. Somebody asked, how do they convince their wife to get a tenor ukulele when they already have a soprano and a concert?
We were just talking about this. You get an offshore bank account,
Yeah.
and you just buy whatever you want with that bank account. That's how I do it. No, no. I don't know. I feel like if I gave advice to this and that person's wife sees this episode, and they're like, so you're the one who told my husband how to do this or whatever. No, well, just I don't know. Like I honestly don't know. Each wife is different. My wife is surprisingly cool about stuff, but the way that I do it is that we do gigs. Aaron and I play gigs and stuff, and of course, like, all money goes towards the family, goes towards like whatever are my and my wife's bank account and whatnot. But there's like a cutoff. If I if I can work the crowd and get more tips than usual, then the extra tips goes to me, and I can pocket that, and like I give whatever my wife is like the base pay. So if I just work the crowd enough, I'll get a bunch of money for myself. That's why you guys will see me on Instagram showing off cards that I bought. Like I'm not buying it with my kids like preschool tuition money. It's from like nice people that are like putting tips in there. So I mean that works for me. So just to kind of have like something on the side. But I think if it's something on the side, maybe your wife might be a little bit more lenient on how you spend it instead of like spending your main job. Like say if I use like Ukulele Underground like money to buy cards, even I would feel uncomfortable with that. You know what I mean? Like what am I doing with my life? But if it's like extra, then it's fine. So it doesn't have to be like doing gigs. I know not everybody plays and stuff, but it can be something small. Like I don't know. Like if I know collectibles are like a big thing right now. A lot of people have like side hustles with some collectibles. Like I know some of my friends that collect Pokemon cards and they sell it and stuff. Like they make bank doing that. I'm like I know Pokemon. I know cards. Like I think I should get into that because people are making like 5 figures doing like selling Pokemon cards. I'm shocked, honestly. And but anything, it can be anything. So any kind of side thing that you can bring in some extra money for yourself, then you can be like, well, I bought this tenor ukulele, but I've been working hard, I don't know, like recycling cans or whatever it may be, like
Shoveling.
exactly, like shoveling snow so for the neighbors, whatever it may be. It's like, so she has no say because this is like the extra money that you made on the side. That's not necessarily the family money. That's how I do it.
Yeah. I think one of our members and good friend, right, Rob, he said that what happens is like he has an agreement with his husband where it's like if you bring in a new ukulele, one of your old ukuleles has to go out too. And that's like not what you want to do. Like if you can, you want to avoid that. But yeah, that's a compromise, right?
What if like you're into dogs and stuff? What if like if you're gonna bring another dog in here, you gotta get rid of one? It's like you can't do that. Like ukuleles are you know like our friends, are like best friends. Like okay, cool. If you're gonna bring another friend in this house, you better get rid of one of your one of your friends. Like how do you
choose
you
wisely?
Exactly. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, if that works for them, that works for them. I know this question was kind of in jest and stuff, but that's like my real world experience from like having a wife myself, and you know, and buying stuff that I like. You know, like luckily I don't have to purchase big stuff like ukuleles anymore, but you know, and even then I bought a Taylor tenor ukulele not too long ago, and it took me like 3 months or 4 months to save all that money from every single gig every week that I play. And sometimes
and just the extra money.
yeah,
right?
just the extra money.
Yeah.
So it's just like maybe $20 one good week, maybe $50 in another, you know, or $50 extra. But it's like if you save all that up, it'll eventually come up to $1,500. You can afford yourself a tenor Taylor ukulele, you know?
Yeah, I heard like this guy that like we both know who like sells cards. He said like once is like if you go to Starbucks every day, like if you cut out Starbucks, that's like $5 a day, right? Like that you can save to buy cards or whatever your hobby may be. So
yeah, or something like that. You know, like think of some places to save, and then like save that money, put it in a shoebox, and like tell your wife about it. You know, don't be like secretive and stuff. And it's like, where did all this money come from? If your wife just like sees like a butt ton of money like underneath the bed in a shoebox, they're like, this is some shady stuff that you're, you know. But that's how. Just be honest and tell them your intentions and tell them why you're doing stuff, so you can save money in a bunch of different ways. You can make some extra money on the side. Use that to buy your ukulele so you don't upset your significant other.
Yoda said, give it to her as a gift and ask nicely if you can play it. That totally sounds like a dad move, right? I know my dad would like give my mom like, oh, here's a new fishing pole. Oh, you're not going to use it? Okay, I'll use it for you then.
Yeah, you're not fishing every day. Well, you don't fish, period.
Yeah. Oh, why did I even get this for? Oh, I better take this off of your hands.
Yeah.
Then. Oh, okay.
Just, you know, happy wife, happy life. That's everyone's advice. And I thought it was super cliche and stuff, but it's totally true. Like, just if you want a quiet, like, no trouble kind of marriage. I mean, I've only been married for, I don't know, like 4 years now. So it's not like I have lots of experiences, but I've been together with my wife for 11 years and going on our 12 years, and it's been nice and quiet. If I just, you know, if happy wife, happy life, it works, man. Just you know, have absolutely nothing that they can complain about, and you're good. Just keep them happy.
Like, why don't you get like, you know, your ukulele and then get another ukulele too, and be like, it came as a set, and I got this for you. You know, but this is mine. This one is mine. But yeah. Okay, Ritesh asked, why is like 5/4 rhythm called 5/4? Why not call it 5/5 instead, where each note is, you know, 1/5 of what the
That's a good question. Okay, so he's talking about musical notation. So if you were to write music on, you know, on a piece of paper, you have to write down what the time signature is. And some common time signatures are 4/4, 3/4, 2/4. There's 5/4. There's 6/9. You know, there's 12/9. There's like all these crazy ones. Okay, so just to kind of explain a little bit, the top number will tell you how many beats per measure, okay? The bottom number will tell you the values of each note. So 4, which is most, you know, the most common, 4 just means that each quarter note gets 1 beat, okay? So that means if you have anything over 2, say like 4/2, it will have 4 beats, but each one of those quarter notes is going to be equal to an eighth note instead. That's how it works. So if we're doing 5/5, that means there's 5 beats to that measure, and each, I guess, like, it's not even like a dotted. I've never even seen a 5, so it's not. You know what I mean? Like it has to be.
Yeah, that's not. It doesn't represent like a fraction.
Yes. So for example, like six eighths. Let's just say 6/8. Okay, so 8. That means that 4 is doubled. So each quarter note will now be considered as a half note. You're holding it twice as long. So that's 2 times. If it's like over 3 or over 3, it could be like a dotted quarter is equals to one beat. So it's kind of like that, or
So
I guess six is a dotted quarter. Sorry, 6.
It kind of is like a fraction, but not in the fraction like the way of notating fractions.
Right.
It's just that each number represents something different.
Yes, so it's not like a this over this. Like you said,
like
a
how
fraction.
fractions are written.
It's not. Yeah. So the top number is always going to be how many beats per measure, and the bottom number is like the amount of time each quarter note gets.
Yeah.
Or half note or whatever, but it's usually referred to the quarter note. So in over anything over 2, quarter note equals eighth note. Anything over 4, quarter note equals quarter notes. Anything over 6, quarter note equals dotted quarter notes because it's held for 1.5. Eighths would be quarter note equals half note.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Jim in the chat saying that there is no 1/5.
Yeah. So that's why,
Yeah.
But a great question. Great question.
Yeah, like I think in San Francisco we tried to like stump Abe, right? Where it's like play this measure of whatever.
16 over whatever.
Yeah. He's like that doesn't exist.
We were throwing out like weird numbers, right? Like, 16 over 5, and he's like, no, guys. You gotta understand it's keep it to like actual real music.
Yeah.
Don't
and that
just
was
make up
wise
whatever.
because I knew that there wasn't a file. I wanted to see what he would do with it.
Yeah.
But
something that's actually possible in music.
But that's why there's no anything over 5. It would just be hard to count. I mean, I guess you could technically, if you're like Jacob Collier and like, oh yeah, this is a whatever, whatever.
If you can
like,
subdivide measures in
quintuplets, right?
Yeah, I guess then it would make sense, but that's not. It's not helping anybody. It's not helping anybody.
Well, the whole point of notation, right, is to like communicate with somebody else what music to play.
Yes.
So if it makes it harder for them to like look at it and be like, how do I play this? Then it's not really like
Okay. Yeah, great question. Awesome question.
Yeah. Gigi asks, how do you suggest learning a new song? A few bars at a time or what?
Learning a new song, I would say part by part. What I mean by that is like maybe just the verse, maybe just the chorus, just the intro, just the outro. I always break it down into parts. If it's a harder song, then line per line or like phrase by phrase, maybe that might work also. But for the most part, part by part, which is like I mentioned, verse, chorus, picking, outro, intro, whatever it may be. If you can break it down into those, that's the best way to approach it. Or if it's a harder song, phrase by phrase. Another advice that I would give, of course, just don't worry about like taking the song on as a whole. You can break it down into those parts, but more importantly is to learn the chord progression to the song first. If it has that, do that. Because most of the time, if you know what the chord progression is underneath the song that you're doing, it'll give you a huge clue as to what the melody line is supposed to be or where you're supposed to be at in the melody. So knowing kind of where you're at chord-wise is, I feel, is one of the first steps that I always take whenever I'm learning a new song. So for example, if I'm learning Europa, I'm not gonna learn that first. I'm gonna learn, okay, it's G minor, C7. I'm gonna learn that chord progression that I'm doing all those solos over. It's tempting to just go straight into the solos, but it's a lot easier if you learn the chords first so that you know what chords are underneath all the melodies that you're playing. And it actually gives you clues as to where you are in the melody, where you are in the song, and how close you are to to the end of the phrase or beginning of the phrase. That's always my advice to everyone. Learn the background chords first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. to go, or like I kind of forgot about this, and Jim brought it up. Jim said, "Play a little take 5." We forgot to. Can you demonstrate like a 5/4 song?
Okay. So 5/4, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a weird feeling of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's weird. But if you broke it down like this is how I break it down, make it easier for myself. I always do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I break it down into more digestible pieces, So the song Take 5 is in 5/4. Dave Brubeck, I believe. Ba-da-ba-da. That's like the best example of a 5/4, and it's pretty much the most famous 5/4 song. Ba da ba da bum bum 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2. That's how I'm thinking it in my head. I'm not thinking 5. Like, I mean, I'm sure people do that. I can't. I can't think that way. So. Don't ask me to play it. I haven't played it in a long time. wait. 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2.
Yeah,
that's a 5/4 feel.
Yeah, there's also songs that it sounds silly, but you can also count it as 1 2 1 2 3 1 2, and you kind of just listen for where the accents land, right?
Yes.
Depending on the song.
Yeah, it like people are probably gonna be like, but doesn't it just go back to counting 1 2 3? Like you're gonna switch anyways, right? But it's kind of just like
it depends on the start of the phrase. Right?
Yeah. So it's just like a little bit. Going back to Marima asked, is learning a song is like that way of learning a song? Would it work the same with a UU plus solo?
Yeah. Actually, yes. Most of the UU plus solos will give you the background chords underneath. So, for example, if you're learning, from the UU plus solos, Hanale Moon, like we have the UU plus solos for Hanale Moon. I'd learn like kind of the chords in the background for Hanale Moon first. So. So just that, knowing that it's F, B flat minor to back to F is so telling of where you're going to be in the melody line. See that? So I knew exactly that this is going to be B flat because that's where the B flat lands in the background chords. And then I go straight into that B flat minor. So if I go bum, so that's going to help me out when I'm figuring out the main melody.
Yep.
And some songs don't have it, and you don't necessarily need it, but it's just helpful to kind of know where you're at. And
Yeah.
I would say it depends on the song like that you're learning. If it's just like a play chords and sing song, then you can probably like look at the chord sheet and try it. And
try
then
to pick out the melody yourself.
Oh no. As far as like if that's all you're gonna learn.
Oh, I see.
Then it's like
just try it out.
Yeah, just try it out and then find chord switches that are hard for you, and then just work on those. Yeah. But then if you're gonna do like a solo instrumental song, like that's like a whole different thing. You might have to take it line by line for those.
Yeah.
So like depending on what the song is, how complex it is. If you've done something like that before, then you're gonna have to dig in a little bit deeper, depending on what your skill level is and what you're comfortable with.
Yes.
And even like Penny Benda said, I have a hard time memorizing the music, and that's kind of like it's something that your memorization. I don't know if that it probably does get better the more songs you play, right? But then you also kind of just recognize that it's like, oh, the song is going in a direction, and I might not know the particular chord, but I kind of know what direction it's going. So I can guess that the next chord is going to be like a major or minor or something. It like a lot of songs follow that same pattern or like a similar pattern where it's like yeah, this A major is gonna come up next. It just feels right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that like when you play songs more often, you get the feeling, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like when you repeat a song that you've already played, you kind of know how it feels at different parts of the song. And if you play a chord that's not that, then it won't feel right.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like with the songs that we play like a lot, often, then it like I know when I'm off. Or, if I forget a chord, like I know immediately that I did the wrong thing. But it's more like I'm not really thinking about what chord is coming up next. I'm thinking about where the song is gonna go, how it feels, and your hands just kind of naturally go to that just because you've done it before.
So many times.
So
if I had to like explain how I think about like when playing music, right? It's not like individual chord by chord, which that's where you're at, that's fine, right? But I think eventually people like move on to, you see the bigger scope of the song. And like for me, it's just like, oh, okay, like I know that the chorus is like different from the verse. So I just got to be prepared to switch from like, instead of going like a A, D, E to go to like a E, D, G minor or whatever. Like, just know that like, that there's going to be a chord switch. The pattern, the whole pattern is going to switch when we get to the next section.
And kind of knowing the chord family helps out a lot too, so that if you do miss it, then you know what else it could be. Because I mean, like if it's a chord outside of the chord family, you're gonna hear it. So like, those are a little bit tougher, but
even kind of like Moon, right? Like the reason why that like B minor is like kind of recognizable is because it's outside of the chord family, and it stands out when it's like now's the B minor.
Yeah, minor 4. Stuff usually majors.
And Gigi said, so what section of the song do you take the chords from? But if like it's a regular song with like lyrics and stuff, the whole song should have chords behind it at least, right? If you're getting music without chords, then I don't know, like maybe try and find the original song and find a chord sheet to go along with it or something. But with the UU plus stuff, I mean, we give the chords, or at least we try to as much as possible, especially if it's within the solo. So, but it might be in different inversions because we're trying to use the right inversion for the melody. So in this case, instead of playing it B flat here, we played a different inversion there, but that's still B flat to B flat minor, then back to F. And you can find that in like just with chords to the song. Like Kahai said, if you're doing a vocal kind of song, it should have like chords and lyrics to it as well. Like I think most songs, it's actually kind of uncommon, right, for a song not to have chords in it or some kind of harmony, for it to just be like purely melody based. So okay,
next.
NZ said, I played the uke for a number of years and can play difficult arrangements. How would you suggest reaching out to a ukulele company to get sponsored?
Ooh, okay. It's tougher now. I mean, I'll just say it's tougher now, just because like everyone and their mothers like play ukulele, throw a rock, there's like an ukulele, player or someone learning how to play it, which is awesome. It's awesome for like, for us as educators, and it's awesome for us as ukulele fans, because that means, ukulele companies will take notice. They're like, oh, we should make more ukuleles, make better ukuleles, and everything just kind of, just goes up in quality. But sponsorships, not everybody can have one. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to do something a little bit different to stand out. And in this day and age, that's harder and harder to do. So I would, if that was me, if I'm, an ukulele player now trying to get sponsored, I would, like maybe seek out someone to record myself, so that I have some kind of demo, like album or whatever that helps, or if you release something, you know what I mean? Like you can make an album and release it and go do stuff without being sponsored by a big company or even a small company. Like you can still do all those things. You don't have to be a sponsored artist to to make an album, to go on tour, to play shows, play open mics. Even if you're not, if you haven't gone that far, you can just do open mics. You don't have to be a sponsored artist to do that. But the more experience you have and the more that you can show in your resume to a company that you're interested in. So say like with Ukulele, I wanted to be sponsored by Ukulele, and now I would have like my demo album or an album, maybe not even a demo, like an album that I put out. That would be even more impressive because it's like, okay, I'm not only an artist, I'm a recording artist. And I would just kind of show the resume. Like I've played for, I played for this whatever, this function. I played for this festival. I played for this whatever it may be. Like if you've done any kind of notable performances, that's something that they'll look for as well. And just a lot of the time that if I'm, let's just say if I'm a company trying to sponsor somebody, the sponsorship has to kind of make sense to me as a company as well. Like what does this person, bring to the table? So you could be really good, you could be, like an amazing ukulele player, but if you don't have a following, if you don't have all this other stuff that I as a company would benefit from, say, so like if with Kanilea and myself, I have Ukulele Underground and I perform and do all that kind of stuff. So what I'm bringing to the table for Kanilea is my audience and my my recognition as far as my name and whatever else it's going to be. So all that is on the table. That's why I'm saying it's so much harder for like a new ukulele player nowadays to do that. But any little bit helps. Like I'm just saying, just beef up your resume as much as possible. Play with as many people as possible, and just don't think that you're just gonna get it like that, or don't think that you're gonna get it soon or fast. Even sometimes it's gonna take years. If you get it, if you get it fast, then awesome. But if it's gonna take you a few years, don't worry about it. That's just how long it takes for some people. And the more you beef, and in those years, you can keep beefing up your resume and be nice to everyone. Go to a festival. Like even if you're not playing at that festival, and Craig and Sarah gave this advice. Even if you're not playing for that festival, help out somehow. You know what I mean? Like ask them for help if they need, even if they just need people to like set up stuff. But be involved in the community, because if you're involved with the community, that means the community will accept you, as one of their own, and then you might stand out as a player in the community. So if you're looking to get sponsored, you not only are bringing yourself, but you're representing yourself and the community that you align yourself with. Yeah. So that is huge for ukulele companies. So the ukulele companies will see it. They're like, okay, well, this person's involved with this group, with this festival, with this and whatever. And like, so sponsoring this person makes sense because I'm not only getting this person, but it's like anything else that they're attached to. Okay, yeah. So that's just real talk. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. It's not gonna be easy. I got lucky like when I asked for a sponsorship. But then again, I've been playing ukulele like for like about a decade, like at that before then. Yeah. So it's not like I just
professionally.
Yeah. So yeah. I was playing. I mean, I played, I don't know, 4 or 5 different ukuleles before I landed a sponsorship with Kanilea. I was playing Kamaka. I was playing Applause ukuleles. I was playing an ukulele that I got from the Philippines. Like it's been an insane ride as far as ukulele goes. And my dream was to get sponsored, but it's not like I wanted it now and whatever. I kept building up, on audience, building up my resume, building up like my skills so that I could one day be sponsored or be good enough to get sponsored. Basically, that's what it is. But sometimes skill has nothing to do with it. Sometimes you can, like if you have a great following, there's some amazing ukulele YouTubers that are out there right now who are getting sponsorships left and right because they have a big following. So nowadays that counts kind of big. Because these companies, they want to sell their ukuleles. They want to make their ukuleles known, and they want to make sure they have a great representative for their brand. So as soon as you get sponsored, you got to realize that you're a representative of whatever brand that chooses to sponsor you. So if you already have that kind of mentality, even before being sponsored, just think that you're if you're playing a Kamaka on stage, or if you're playing Kanilea on stage, just make as if you're a brand ambassador to that, and really show that you love that instrument, and they'll take notice. And if you have an audience, if you have a following, then your audience and your following will also take notice of that stuff, and it makes it more worth it for these companies to sponsor you. Okay?
Yeah.
This is real talk.
I think, it like for sure, like you said, right? Like be nice to everybody. The ukulele community is like extremely small, right? So, I mean, don't be, don't try to put out like that. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be nice to everybody. I'm gonna give everybody candy or whatever. If that's not you, then don't do that.
Be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself. But also like, try not to be like a jerk to somebody, because you never know, like that person, like you might think like, oh, I don't need to worry about being nice to that person, but then they might go back to whatever and they'll know like, oh, that ukulele shop or something, and be like, yeah, that guy was a jerk to me. I don't know why, and that can just spread. So yeah, it's not great, like, but if you do want to become like kind of get more well known in the community, I think being nice, just be nice in general, right? That's good life advice for anything. So
just be part of the community, be part of it, like, and the more you get involved with it, like maybe that they'll take notice, and maybe if you help out with a festival, for example, and the festival's like, oh, this guy's really cool, he helped us out with whatever, and then you can kind of slip in there. They're like, well, I play too, I perform, if there's any slot that I can fill in or whatever, and then maybe you'll get a slot somewhere, and then just take that opportunity to show the people what you can do. And then if reports were good, maybe they'll invite you again next year, or maybe you can do that for another festival or for a different club, ukulele club even. Like, there's all these ways to go about it, but I think that's the most noblest way to do it. I think being part of a community, being part of the ukulele community is a big part of, if you want to be sponsored, because they're looking at followers, they're looking at social media, they're looking at all that stuff.
Yeah.
I lucked out.
The online presence. We were building our online presence then too.
Yeah.
And that was in the early days of like social media and everything. But now that counts for kind of a lot.
Everything.
Also, we've been hearing about like certain companies. Certain companies don't even offer sponsorships anymore.
Yeah.
And some of them do like limited sponsorships. So like
partials.
If you represent the company, play their ukuleles on stage, they'll offer you a discount.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll only pay for like whatever the retail store's price is, like a wholesale price or something like that. And that's a good way to get your hands on ukuleles that are higher end, but like in a musician's range of actually buying. So
they have like a name for that, like, because it's even like discounted, like MSRP, right? To like for your retailer discount, or like something like that too.
And then also, like, if you're just interested in music and anything, like working at a music store also gives you that kind of thing too.
True,
so there's multiple ways of getting your hands on ukuleles that are like a little bit out of your range, but
and like I'm actually not a good example to look at, because I've gotten my sponsorship so long ago that sponsorships work so different now that like I think I would have a hard time like getting a sponsorship nowadays and stuff. And do you remember when we went to the Martin shop on the East Coast? And then I'm like a Martin guitar player. Like I love Martin, love Taylor and stuff, but I primarily love playing Martins. And then like I kind of slipped in there. I'm like, so do you guys do like sponsorships and stuff? They're like, no, but we could, like, if you become one of our artists, we'll give you like, these instruments for whatever the cost is. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. They're like, how much is something like this? They're like, this is like $8,000 or whatever. I'm like, is that's the price if you're an artist, or that's just how much it costs? And it's still super expensive. So I'm like, I'll just stick with my GC PCA that I have at home from Martin.
I'll still,
but it's different. A lot of people are getting partial sponsorships, either that or like they'll sponsor you with ukuleles, but like same thing with with like podcasts nowadays. They have like sponsored ads and whatnot. They'll maybe sponsor you, but like you have to do like so many things for them, like however many videos, or you gotta like you gotta mention their brand like for however many seconds. They'll give you like a copy to read off on your whatever, on your videos and your podcast. And there's like different kinds of agreements, and it might, it's harder to get one of like the bigger companies now, but I feel like it's also easier to get one of like the starting out companies because they want as many people as they can to spread the word about their new ukulele. And that's why guys like Kanilea, Kamaka, Koaloha, like it's tough to get into those like the big three or Ko'olau, the big four, but that's why there's a huge boom of people who are sponsored by like say Flight Ukulele, like they're sponsoring everything. They just hand him out like M&Ms. But like I know a bunch of like sponsored Flight Ukulele artists that like and it's all because of social media. They have a huge following. So Flight, of course, are like, oh yeah, this is a no-brainer. Like if I give them a ukulele, they play it in their videos, like, and their videos get like 100,000 views, then 100,000 views of the ukulele that I make or whatever.
Yeah. I think it's also like if somebody comes to you and they just offer you a deal, right? It can be tempting to just be like, yeah, I'll take that, like and not really like even look at the product and stuff. But if you're gonna be serious about like this becoming a career, like really check to make sure that brand or whatever sponsor you're gonna get fits you as well, right? Not only that you fit them, but they fit you too, and that it'll be like a mutually beneficial agreement between both of you.
So think about what you can put on the table, and I think that'll strengthen your case to see if you want to get sponsored. If you want to aim for like the one of the easier ones to get and stuff, like for example like Flight, I know like maybe not easy, but like I know Ohana is sponsoring a lot of people as well, and just look for the companies that are looking for people, because the smaller companies doesn't mean that they're like they're junk or they're bad. Smaller companies just means that they're not as well known. They probably make good ukuleles. So see if you like them, and you never know. Because the thing is, when I like signed up with Kanilea Ukuleles, now like Kanilea made great ukuleles, but if you were to ask like anyone like what's a good ukulele brand, they'll say like Kamaka or Koaloha.
At the time.
At that time. Maybe definitely not now, So I was like, these guys are awesome. How come like these guys don't get much, don't get more credit for their ukuleles? They're making great ukes. And then, that's why it was mutually beneficial, because ukulele on the ground was in the rise at that time. And for Kanilea, it made sense. So that deal that we penned together was mutually beneficial for both of us, because I too had a following.
And it's like you said, right? Like you worked with Joe to actually like make their ukuleles like, or add features and do things to say like from a player's perspective, this is what I want, too. So
if I'm being like extremely candid and stuff, it's kind of crazy because like our forum, the Ukulele on the Ground forum, used to be like the busiest place on the internet, So it's kind of cool because I would have a lot of insight, and it's not just me. It's like anyone who is willing to look into the forum had an insight of what people wanted as far as ukulele goes. So me being the one of the founders of that site is just kind of like, well, this is what people want right now, and this is what I want as a player. This is what I want on my ukulele, and I have a feeling that people are gonna want this. That's why you see a lot of like slotted headstocks now and stuff, because I'm like, Joe, dude, slotted headstocks, and that was like back in 2009, 2010, where like they weren't that easy to find now. Now it seems like, throw a rock and like you'll find a slotted headstock ukulele, but only like guys like Jake and like those really like professional players like had one.
Like you had to get accustomed to get a slotted headstock, right? Where now it's like you can get like a pre-built or like a factory model, and it might.
I think Kanilea like has slotted headstocks, just part of like their K1 series. You can get a K1 with like a slotted headstock. So pretty cool. Okay, so that's the advice that I got as far as like sponsorship goes. That's as candid and as real as it gets, because I want to see more people get their day. Like I think maybe not like the big four and stuff, but if you can like shoot for one of the smaller companies, they're all awesome as well. I think everyone's making good ukuleles now, because if you didn't make good ukuleles, you wouldn't survive that long, because there's so much to choose from.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So speaking of which, this is actually a great segue to an announcement that we have to make today. So last week we said we were going to make a huge announcement this week, and here we are. Everyone, UU Shop is open for business. Everybody, I'm so excited.
Finally.
Jeez. We've been working on this for a long time. So the UU Shop is we have, of course, UU Plus, where you can get all the, like all the lessons that we have and all the exclusive videos and whatnot. But we want to make like special videos. For example, we made a nice Christmas bundle, which has an ukulele instrumental. It has a regular ukulele song or ukulele Christmas song that we have, and we have a play along. I think 8 songs, like 8-song play along jam thing. So it's a nice little bundle that you guys can can check out for Christmas, for however much left we have of Christmas that you guys can learn that with. But it's not just that, we have standalone things like Ukulele 100 is there, I believe, and there's like Hawaiian instrumental ukulele solos. So for those people who are like, I don't know if I want to commit to UU Plus, but want to watch specific things on UU Plus, you can buy it a la carte at the UU shop. So we have all sorts of awesome lessons there already, and we're going to be updating that like crazy. So we're coming up with some cool content that we can put on the UU shop. And don't worry, all UU Plus subscribers, we got some stuff for you guys as well. But more importantly, we have ukuleles now. We have ukuleles for sale. We are like the only ukulele company online that doesn't sell ukes, and that just makes sense, okay? And the reason for that is, once again, I'm going to be candid. We wanted to, kind of have this like unbiased feel like towards all the ukulele makers, because like I mentioned earlier, I'll mention stuff like Flight, like Ohana, like Kamaka, like Koloha. We love all we love all the ukuleles that are coming out nowadays. But I prefer Kanile ukuleles. That's the sound that I'm after. But it's always subjective. Like everyone has like different preferences in sound. So it was kind of tough to keep kind of neutral, because nothing is neutral. Okay, so if I'm showing you folks, like a lesson on my Kanile ukulele, that's Kanile's sound. Like that's what it is. And because we believed in this sound for over 10 years now, we felt that it just feels right to be offering Kanile ukuleles to you folks, okay? And it's just the most logical step, really, because we believe that their ukuleles are quality. We believe that their ukuleles, are one of the best handcrafted ukuleles on the planet, and we believe in their building process. We've said it before. They take traditional ways of or techniques in making ukuleles and mixing them with some awesome modern techniques. Joe Susan, the master luthier at Kanile Ukuleles, is constantly pushing the envelope, and that shows with all their like platinum series and artist series and master grade, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's always something cool there. Every time I go to the factory, I'm always seeing something cool. But yeah, if you guys are looking for ukuleles, they are on Ukulele Underground, and I have curated all the ukuleles on there. So don't think that we just we'll just take whatever batch. I went to the factory last month. Now I can disclose this. Yeah, I went to the factory last month. There was a Instagram post where I posted some Jollibee chicken, where there's no Jollibee chicken on Kauai. That means I'm not on Kauai, baby. I was on Oahu. I was at the Kanilea factory, and me and the team from Kanilea, we handpicked some select awesome ukuleles. So it's like I was in a nice candy store, and I'm like, I want that for my store, I want that for my store, that for my store. And guess what? 2 Aldrine models I took. I was like, that went down. I can't decide. Can I have both of them? They're like, yeah, if you want both of them in your shop. So there's Aldrine models. So now the exact model that I've been playing for, for years here on this channel, we can finally offer that to you folks. So we believe in this brand. We play this brand. Every time you hear Ukulele Underground in general, it's always Kanilea anyway. So this makes the most sense.
Yeah, talking about how it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like for years, we've had people all the time, one of the most asked questions is, what ukulele do you play, right?
Yes.
And they want to get the exact ukulele that you play.
Yeah.
So before it would be oh, go to Kanilea's website. And it's still great to get it from them.
Right.
But now we can actually be well, here's one that we know for sure. It's made and ready to go out. You can get this exact one.
I mean, we're going to be adding some videos to the UU shop, which is actually me trying out every single ukulele. I've made tons of videos to just like kind of showcase the ukuleles that are for sale on the site. So make sure to look up for those. And I'll be constantly doing, new kind of ukulele, not necessarily reviews, but just like showcasing the ukuleles that are for sale. Like it's not just like I'm reviewing the new whatever K1 model. It's like that's the K1 model that's on the shop that's on the video. So watch out for those videos. We're going to be doing that. But yeah, I'm stoked because if someone's like, I want to an Aldrine model. It's like, because I guess you could go to the Ukuleles site, but it's like go to like the Ukulele site or go to like all these other makers and stuff. Why? That's my signature uke. I should be able to offer it on my own site. So this is cool. We got 2 of them, Aldrine Guerrero models. Make sure you swipe them up because I chose 2 of the best looking ones there. So the stuff that like I wish I had those because they're always going to be different. Like they're master grade koa. The Aldrine models are the only ukuleles from Ukulele Ukulele that comes with master grade koa. Okay, the only other way that you can get it from them is if you get a custom instrument. So you can't get like a K1 or even a K3 or a K4. I don't know if they exist and stuff, but you can't get like a master grade koa ukulele unless you either purchase one as a custom made ukulele or one as an Aldrine model.
Yep.
Check it out now. shop.ukuleleunderground.com.
I mean, and there's other ukuleles too, like that are like not as high end but still great ukuleles too, right? So yeah, if you guys just check it out for like the whole price range too. Yeah.
So that's a great question. So we have a question from will they come already set up? You know what? It's coming straight from the factory. So if you just let them know how you want it set up, they can do something for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've played them and they play nice. Like I said, watch out for the videos or stay tuned for the videos that are going to be coming in the near future. Or I don't know, someone might buy the ukulele already and the video might never come out. But I've made videos for all the ukuleles. They're on the site right now. But we'll try to get the videos up soon. Okay? Somebody
else asked if merchandise is coming to the store, and that is in the plans.
Merchandise, apparel, all that stuff. But just for Christmas, we wanted to just put it out as fast as we could. So we're just putting out a few select things for now, but we're gonna put out a lot more stuff in the near future. Definitely apparel. I'm a big hoodie fan, so I know I've gotten like 5 emails for like new hoodies and stuff. We're working on it, but yeah, like hats and hoodies and shirts, we're gonna try to stock them.
Yeah. Jim also asked if we're stocking the Islander, and I think that's in the plan right now.
Yeah.
Right now it's like select ukuleles, but we're gonna have Islanders on the site.
Yeah, we're gonna have Islanders as well because we want people to have access to good, affordable ukes. Yeah. So I know not everyone is gonna be able to afford $1,000 plus kanilea, but we'll be offering Islanders on the site as well. I think we're going to be offering some. I know I did videos for the Islander plant a tree package that they have. So it's just around the corner. So I'm not saying that we're working out. It's coming.
That's, that's another thing, right? It's either what ukulele are you playing or what is a good beginner ukulele, and we definitely believe in the Islander brand. So we want that on our shop too.
All right. So with that said, we have one more thing on our agenda today, and there's a reason why Aaron Nakamura is sitting here, next to me, as opposed to always being off camera, is because we are Santas. Kahai. We are Secret Santas. What we did for for our songwriting challenge here on the show is that we're giving away songs. We're writing songs to people who want songs. So we're Secret Santa-ing songs for people. So if you're a UU Plus member, you went on the you went on the forum and say, I want them to write this song for me or whatever. I want them to write this song. I want one of them to write this song. And we pulled names out of the hat. So we picked 3 lucky people that we will be writing songs for. Okay. So do we say the person and then we play the song?
I kind of want to play the song first. So if the person wrote in the suggestion and they're watching, then they can be like, oh, that's my song.
Oh, okay. So here we go. Without further ado, I know it's already 2 o'clock, but let's get through these songs because we promised we would get through them. So I have to go look at my lyrics. But my guideline, let's just see what my guideline is. I'm not gonna say who it is just yet, but they'll know. My guideline is they asked to write a reggae Christmas song that has ukulele references in it. I'm like, okay,
Right up your
that's
alley.
right up my alley. You know, like a reggae song, whatever, Christmas. Here's what I got. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Christmas time is here, let's jump for joy, spread the Christmas cheer. Christmas time is here, let's jump for joy, spread the Christmas cheer. One love, sing your favorite Christmas tune. One love, string some lights around the room. One love, eat a chunk of ham or two. One love, got to jam with friends like you. Christmas time is here, let's jump for joy, spread the Christmas cheer. Christmas time is here, let's jump for joy, spread the Christmas cheer. Rolling, Santa's coming down the chimney. Rolling, careful, don't wake out the homies. Rolling, Rudolph's rolling, pull the sleigh. Rolling, Rudolph's rolling, show the way. Christmas time is here, let's jump for joy, spread the Christmas cheer. Christmas time is here, let's jump for joy, spread the Christmas cheer. One love, rolling, one love, rolling, one love, rolling. Yeah, that was my Christmas reggae song. So here's all the ukulele references. Of course, it's jump for joy. Jump as in lele, as in ukulele, like jumping flea. One love, sing your favorite Christmas tune. Singing with your ukulele down, you know. String some lights up around the rooms, you know. And then we got eat a chunk of ham or two. Got to jam with friends like you. And we got rolling, you know. Santa's coming down the chimney. And then careful, don't wake up the homies. And then Rudolph's rolling, pull the sleigh. And then rolling, Rudolph shows the way. So that's my ukulele Christmas reggae song with ukulele references in it. And
Nice.
I think I brought it. I brought the did I take it? Oh, and I didn't. I brought the actual paper that I took from the hat when we pulled names off the hat. So it's, I don't want to say this wrong, but it's Lilo Fly or Lilo Fly. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to see that.
There, Little Fly. Hey. So that was for you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
That's your song. Okay, next.
Kahai.
Yeah. Yeah, and I figured I'll just explain my song afterwards, see if the person who I wrote it for can, recognize.
Okay. So this one is. Is that right? Nice. Nice.
Dude, that's sick. So, wait.
That actually sounds kind of like a full-fledged version of my song.
We should have collabed.
We should have collabed, yeah.
Was that was live ukulele, yeah?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't like,
recorded.
oh, dude. Rare moment of us getting to hear Kahai play
Kahai
ukulele.
It was-
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like I figured like for a Christmas present, right? Like I'll give them actually like
Give
playing
the people what they want, Kahai.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so what was it then?
No, who was that for? What was the
Yeah.
guidelines and who was it for?
It was like just D flat with a key change to G flat. So
Ooh.
yeah, and then use an E flat minor 7/2, and that was just Jim. So give me a pretty easy one, and since it was so easy, I was like, oh, we also talked about doing
Lo-fi.
Yeah, lo-fi a couple weeks ago. So I was like, oh, I'll incorporate lo-fi, and then like yeah, I wanted to. A lot of people in our forums said do a Christmas song, right? Like or do Christmas feeling kind of
Yes.
song. So that's why I did the sleigh bell and the just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
It sounded awesome, dude. I kind of want to see a cardistry video.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
can see that.
As the sound bed.
Yep. I hope you like it, Jim. Merry
Oh,
Nice, that was for
Jim.
Jim.
Awesome.
Christmas.
Good job.
I wanted to name it like Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
You should name it Kind Cool Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
that one is
Kind
good.
Cool
Yeah.
Christmas.
Okay, so mine was, I guess, the guidelines were write a song about daughters. And so that's so hard because like immediately as soon as you say that, like you think of John Mayer.
John Mayer. John Mayer.
Daughters by John Mayer. And
Yeah.
so I was like, how am I gonna do that? Because like that's already
Yeah,
what's
it's
in
in
my
your mind,
head.
yeah.
Yeah. And so like the challenge for me was like, it's like maybe can I write a song about daughters without saying the word daughters or saying the word daughter or or parent or whatever it is. So so that was the challenge for me. And they also said maybe throw like a key change in there or like a time signature change. So I wasn't able to do the time signature, but just a little bit of a key change just for flavor. So yeah. So yeah, this is the song. Another day, and she wants me to change it for her. This diaper's sore, but baby, I will wipe away all the tears that you may cry, and I'll wrap you up inside on these big old arms of mine until you drift away. Our stories play, each year is made of ordinary days. Tides they change, our lives are made of ordinary days. Another day, and she wants me to change it for her. High school is boring, but worth more than anything I can try to understand. Offer my own helping hand, drop her off and chance a wave as she walks away. Our stories play, each year is made of ordinary days. Our tides they change, our lives are made of ordinary days.
promised me to stay beside her, walk down the aisle, and that's where I'll give her away. But these heels will never do. She misplaced her something blue, but we'll simply muddle through because love will find a way. Our stories play. Each year is made of ordinary days. Our tides they change. Our lives are made of ordinary days.
For not having a daughter, that was a pretty good song about
My God. So yeah, so that song was for Chris and Sue, and they asked for that. So I was thinking like I should probably write it in a key that they generally like. So it was like in the key of F, and then I wrote it sort of as a duet so that each of them could sing,
Awesome.
the different parts, but if they want to.
I'm sure they'll love it.
I love it. I love
so-
it. I love that song.
Yeah.
I love the that key change there for for a little bit on the instrumental. That gave
So I
me,
don't know, you can add whatever you want there.
that gave
but-
me some like 70s Bruno Mars vibe. Like how he does that kind of stuff.
So that was kind of in that. But yeah, so like remember I was telling you last week that I was trying to write this song.
Yeah.
And then I think originally I was thinking of I Saw the Light.
Saw the Light.
by Todd Rundgren. So like I came up with the chords first.
Yeah.
And then I realized that was the song, so I had to like really try to make it not sound like that. But yeah, so I think usually when I write songs, I kind of go through a process of where like I'll come up with the chords and I'll like hum the melody. So
Yeah.
I think if they want it, I might send Chris and Sue like my progression of like how the song
Yeah.
was created. So
I'm sure they will.
Cool. Yeah,
like
they'll
that.
love it.
along
They'll
with
love it.
the lyrics and
They'll love
and
it, dude.
chorus.
Awesome. Hey, good job, everybody. That's fine. And Merry Christmas to all the people who requested songs and stuff. If we didn't pick your song, next year.
Yeah.
Try again next year. But if anything, if you guys want to, take a hand at writing songs based on the guidelines that we have, is it on
It's on the forum.
the forums?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So we have all those guidelines on the forums. If you want to write a song based on those guidelines, totally check those out. You can write your own Secret Santa song. You can keep it for yourself. You can give it to that person if you want to. Like, hey, I too wrote a song for you, or whatever. If you were into the Christmas spirit. But yeah, it's good job, everyone. That's one of the best ones that we've had so far. I think,
We're joking, right? Like, and we're actually on time this time.
We set a deadline and it was actually the deadline.
Yeah, and I mean, usually since it's just like my song, I'll just play like whatever, not like dialing it in or whatever, but it's just I'll write a song, maybe the day of, but I can write stuff like kind of fast. But this one, like because it was for someone else, It was
And for
just
Christmas,
me.
too.
Exactly, for
Yeah,
Christmas, and I'm like, I should put a little bit more of of effort in this. So it was that, and definitely effort showed in everybody. And Kahai's song with the ukulele in there, good stuff, everybody.
Yeah, I hope Jim likes it because I put in effort, but I also recorded it yesterday too. So yeah.
But right on, guys, that does it for the Ukulele Underground podcast. Once again, check out shop.ukuleleunderground.com. Shop.ukuleleunderground.com. That is live now. You can buy ukuleles. You can get our awesome Christmas bundle.
Oh, yeah.
You can get our Hawaiian song bundle from there. Also, yes?
Oh, I was just gonna say you guys should get the Christmas bundle now.
Yeah.
Because it's on sale.
It's on sale.
Yeah.
Just
For the
after
holidays.
Christmas, because it's usually like $50 or something, right?
It's half off right
It's
now.
half off, $25. Like eight songs. Well, how many videos is in that? Like 3-4 videos in there that you can.
No,
It's a lot,
bunch.
right?
Yeah.
I think the
like
solo itself has like 6 videos or something
Ooh.
like that.
So
yeah.
you're getting your money's worth as far as that goes, and like also. UU Plus. There's always UU Plus. You can always check out UU Plus. If you're looking for that special ukulele, I've picked out many special ukuleles that you guys can get from the UU shop.ukuleleunderground.com. You can get it there. There's some other stuff too. Ukulele 100. If you know someone who's just starting out with the ukulele 100 is the perfect gift for those people. Also, we have a brand new UU Plus solo. Speaking of UU Plus, right, Kahai? What is the UU Plus solo?
Make You Feel My Love.
Make You Feel My Love, the Adele version. Make sure you check that out on UU Plus now. Book your private lessons because I'm doing those for UU Plus as well. We'll see you folks next time. Have a great one. Yes?
Oh, I was just going to say that we're going to be off for the next 2 weeks. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be off in the next 2 weeks. It's Christmas and it's New Year's. So since we're not going to see you folks, have a happy, Merry Christmas, happy holidays, a happy New Year, all that good stuff. I wish you all love. I wish you all the Christmas cheer, all the happy holidays that I could ever wish everyone. And thank you so much for believing in Ukulele Underground. 2022, we're going to bring it, everybody. We're going to bring it. Here comes 2022. But stay safe, gather safely, hug your families, kiss your parents, and tell everyone that you love them because now is a better time than any. We'll see you folks next time. Aloha.